Are you ready for a third round? Sadly, Rocky Balboa has nothing left to give, and it's now Adonis Creed's time to shine. So let's find out what all the fuss is about.
If we don't do what we love, then we wouldn't exist.
Since losing to pretty Ricky Conlon, Adonis Donnie Creed has been successful. But now Victor Drago, the son of the assassin of Apollo, has come to the United States and challenged Donnie to a fight. Ivan, Victor's father, is more driven to avenge Rocky Balboa's defeat of him in Russia, which cost him both his respect and his marriage. Rocky declines to prepare Donnie for the fight out of concern that he might meet the same downfall as his father. Donnie and Bianca get engaged and she gets pregnant with his child, which complicates things further. Victor confronts Donnie, who suffers a serious injury after Victor breaks one of his ribs and knocks him out. Victor is disqualified for knocking Donnie out while he's down, but Donnie is physically and emotionally harmed as a result. Marianne Creed contacts Rocky and convinces him that Donnie requires his assistance. Bianca gives birth to a baby girl named Amara, but unfortunately she's born deaf. Then Rocky starts preparing Donnie for the rematch.
It's time, kid.
In Moscow, Donnie challenges Victor to a second round. Ivan's ex-wife Ludmilla and Victor's mother are present, and Rocky, Bianca, and Marianne are there for Donnie. Even though Victor initially has the upper hand, Donnie never gives up and eventually manages to score some solid hits. When it appears that Donnie will triumph, Ludmilla abandons her son once again, which smothers his motivation to win. Ivan eventually gives up, and Donnie remains to be the champion. While Donnie takes Bianca and Amara to Apollo's grave, Rocky travels to Chicago to see his son and get to know his grandson. It's taking a little bit longer for the third round of Creed movies to cool down before the judges ring the bell once more. Creed 3's release date was previously set for November 23, 2022, but it has now been moved to March 3, 2023. Given that the two Creed films before they were both released in November of their respective years, this makes Creed 3 a bit of an unusual entry in the Creed film series. That has also been a release date tradition that the previous Rocky films have mostly followed. Every Rocky film except for Rocky 2 and Rocky 3 was released in either November or December of the year it made its debut, making the boxing matches between Rocky Balboa and Adonis Creed feel like yearly rituals. The potential need for additional post-production time for Creed 3 is forgivable, as is the desire to release during a commercially quieter time of year. Still, the decision to move Creed 3 to 2023 feels like a very sad turn of events in the break with the Rocky and Creed movie tradition. That date appears to be largely fixed as of now, but given the recent trend of frequent alterations to movie timelines, you never know. Jordan's first feature film as a director so far only has the essential cast members from the previous two movies confirmed showing up. Fans will only have to wait a few months longer to see him returning to the ring as Adonis Creed. However, apart from Major's introduction to the franchise as the unknown fighter, Tessa Thompson will come back as Bianca, Adonis' love interest since the first film. In the third installment, Phylicia Rashad, who played the widow of Apollo Creed and the mother of Adonis, is also back to worry about the champion fighting for a few more rounds. This will be the first Balboa-verse movie to leave out the legendary former champion. Stallone has not stated why he won't be in the upcoming film since it was revealed back in April last year. It's possible that he's currently focusing on a Rocky prequel series in addition to a feature Rocky installment. If the Rocky III villain Clubber Lang's son appears in Creed 3, Stallone insisted that it's time for you to smash that like button if you haven't done it already. No, seriously, he did insist that wrestler Deontay Wilder plays the role. Other well-known actors such as Florian Montaño as Victor Drago will probably make appearances in the follow-up. As for the other cast, there has been no news on whether or not anyone else will be returning to reprise their roles. Of course, the main focus is what the story will imply. Creed faces a new challenger alone after defeating a Drago in the previous movie and forcing Rocky to retire from boxing. When the first preview of the new opponent appears, there will undoubtedly be a mic drop. There are various theories that can be used to support the fascinating tease of which Jonathan Major's villain will be played in Creed 3. The core issue among them all is that Adonis Creed and Major's villains are connected by a deeply personal experience, and that the fight in the ring appears to be the only way for them to resolve their conflict. Even before Jonathan Majors was cast, one of the most popular theories about Creed 3's enemy was that Adonis' next opponent would be Clubber Lang's son. This is mainly because Sylvester Stallone suggested the idea in 2018 around the release of Creed 2. It would not be unexpected for Jonathan Majors' character to be played by Clubber Lang's son in Creed 3, given how the sequel included Ivan Drago and his son. This idea would keep the Creed and Rocky franchises connected and might even allow Mr. T to come back as Clubber Lang. Although Jonathan Majors has the stature to be even more intimidating than Mr. T, this may be the reason Lang's son is forced into fighting. The idea that Jonathan Majors' character is another secret son of Apollo Creed is indeed an intriguing Creed 3 villain story. The Creed movie series already made it obvious that Apollo had children with women besides his wife, so learning that Adonis is not the only one would not be a significant retcon of Rocky. This could be the role that best explains Jonathan Majors' character of an intimate story about two men working out a problem. While Adonis was adopted by Apollo's wife, Marianne, and grew up to be a huge success, Majors' Creed 3 villain, despite being Apollo's son, would not have that luxury. Their relationship would become very tense as a result, with Adonis becoming the target of his half-brother. The impact on Apollo's legacy makes Jonathan Majors' portrayal of another son of Apollo Creed potentially controversial. Still, a brother versus brother conflict in the spirit of the excellent MMA film Warrior from 2011 might be the ideal plot direction for Creed 3. Jonathan Majors' Creed 3 villain might surprise Adonis by being revealed to be Bianca's brother. Tessa Thompson's Bianca has played an important role in the first two Creed films, as her music career, relationship with Adonis, and having a baby have all received a lot of attention. However, there has been no trace of Bianca's family in any of the Creed movies. This makes it possible for Creed 3 to reveal that she has a brother and that he's Jonathan Majors' character. The final fight between him and Adonis would undoubtedly become more personal if Bianca's brother became the main villain of Creed 3. There's also the possibility that Jonathan Majors' Creed 3 villain will be someone from Adonis' past. The movies have only teased his experience growing up and what life was like before Marianne found him and he began boxing. The character of Jonathan Majors may be another child Adonis met during one of his countless stays in a juvenile hall. The villain of Creed 3 may also be someone Adonis knew when he was younger or earlier in his career as a fighter. Both scenarios have the potential for the former friends to turn into enemies because of their different lives. Additionally, Rocky should be allowed to live the rest of his life in peace, but away from the spotlight. Of course, Rocky's passing could also be brought up in Creed 3, and the outcome of Adonis Creed's biggest fight to date is likely to be significantly affected by his passing. Either way, you need to smash that subscribe button and notification bell so you'll never miss any of our videos in the future. However, the franchise will never stray away from the legend that started it all. See you in the next video.